Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
A tax expert has revealed the items that Aussies might not realize they're able to claim back at tax time. July 1st arrives on Monday, meaning people will be able to start submitting their returns with the ATO. CPA Australia provided a list of items which many people didn't realize they may be able to claim. What is appropriately deductible will depend on your job, and CPA Australia says any expense claimed must relate to your job and you must have evidence of it. 1. Work-related education. If your job requires education or training, and you pay for it, then you can claim it back. This includes the cost of attending conferences or seminars relevant to your job, including travel and hotel costs. Just not costs reimbursed by your employer, CPA Australian spokesperson Gavin Ord says. 2. Essential items. A tax expert has revealed the items that Aussies might not realize they're able to claim back at tax time. Stock image. Basically, you can claim any items that are essential for your job. If you drive for a living, things like sunglasses could be tax deductible, Mr. Ord says. If you need specific items of clothing, such as protective footwear, these count too. Just as long as you paid out of your own pocket and have the receipts, you can claim. 3. Transportation costs. Many people can claim the cost of driving which is needed for their work. For example, if you're a cleaner and you need to drive from one office or location to the next, this is a cost you can claim for, Mr. Ord says. 4. Overtime meals. You can claim overtime meals that you buy and eat while working overtime. Mr. Ord says you can claim overtime meals if your employer paid you an overtime meal allowance under an industrial law, award, or agreement for the overtime, and it's included in your assessable income. 5. Keeping clean. This applies for people who might work in jobs such as retail staff or at a train station. If you work in a job that requires interaction with lots of customers and surfaces, you can even claim the cost of items like gloves and hand sanitizer, Mr. Ord says. 6. Sleeping bags and pillows. What is appropriately deductible will depend on your job, and CPA Australia says any expense claimed must relate to your job and you must have evidence of it. Stock image. This applies for truck drivers. You can claim the cost of a sleeping bag and pillows when you use these on your mandatory long rest breaks and sleep away from home for work, Mr. Ord says. 7. Tools and equipment. People can claim for the costs of tools and equipment they use for work. Immediate deduction can be claimed if it costs up to $300. Otherwise, you can claim the cost over a number of years, Mr. Ord says. 8. Media subscriptions. Mr. Ord says, if you've signed up to news publications, a professional magazine or other media services as part of your job and you pay for them yourself, you can claim these. 9. Home office. Since the pandemic, working from home has become more common, and you might be able to claim back the costs of your home office. Your computer desk and chair are tax deductible as long as you paid for them yourself, Mr. Ord says. If you travel to the office, you could even claim for the laptop bag you use. 10. The costs of preparing your tax return. Mr. Ord says it's often overlooked that you can claim back the costs of preparing your return if you seek professional tax advice from an accountant. Some people may be wondering if it's worth seeking support from a tax agent, but given that you can claim the cost as a deduction, it's definitely worth it, Mr. Ord says.